will just say that you're in charge today. And so welcome. I just want you all to know that the class was advertised as gentle, and I've never been gentle in my life because I'm from New York, and so we're not gentle, we're abrupt. But I'm going to do my very best to go slow. And also it is kind of a slower class because this is the class I do every year at the beginning of a year. Oh, good. She put the ASPCA for my donation link. Any animals, please. I actually, I'm a very big animal supporter. My father's one of the founding members of the Morris Animal Foundation, named for the Morris the cat. So you could do that foundation. You could do any animal foundation that you wish. I'm a little turned off by human beings right now. So if you'd like to give $10 or $5 to anything to support animals, that would be fine with me. All right, so there's my speech on the donation. Otherwise, I also want to tell you that I'm wearing, this is so ridiculous, but I'm wearing the Cozy Comfort collection because it's snowing right now. And oh, people are joining on the live. I'm here, but I'm talking to the computer. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Okay, so welcome. Today's theme is stay the course. And so I was practicing the last few weeks and I was trying to find, I always find a theme for myself for the whole year. And for me, it seems really resonant that we need to stay strong and stay the course. One of my favorite idols has always been Diana Nyad, and Diana Nyad was a phenomenal swimmer. She was one of the greatest female, or even of any sex, long distance swimmers, and she's won many Olympic medals. But for her, her goal was always, it wasn't even achieved until she was 64. Her goal that she wanted to do was to swim from Cuba to Florida, and it took her 5 attempts. And some of the attempts she had to be pulled out unconscious. She had vomited so many times, she was stung almost fatally by jellyfish, and she didn't give up. And so I take this as inspiration once I turn 60, that you have to get even tougher about the things that are important to you. You have to get even tougher about your practice, about your yoga practice. So today's practice is going to be all about setting a very strong foundation for our practice. My strong foundation will be trying to learn technology this year. I think I'm hilarious. If you don't think I'm hilarious, please go ahead on Yelp and mention that. So I'd like you to take a seat. I'm going to sit on a block. If I use props that you don't have, just make a workaround. That's totally fine. I want you to start with this is called Badakanasana, and take your thumbs in that base of your heel right here and push in. And push into the point, rub your arch from the heel to the ball of your foot. And I want you to push in and rub hard enough that it's a little uncomfortable. Like it reminds you that we survived 2020. Like you want to be reminded of the discomfort. You want to be reminded that things that are really worth it are sometimes hard to do. Because that to me says that you're working hard and you're trying hard. Now we're going to take one foot. So any way you can, I'm just going to grab my right foot, both thumbs in that right foot. And again, make it smarty. Make it to the point where you can really feel the muscles in your foot, and then go the opposite way. Go from the ball of your foot down to the heel. Oh. So I'm just pressing on the arch, hoping to make a difference down here. I'm going to give you early the quote that inspired me and inspired my first book from Diana Nyad, and it's this: endurance is not a young person's game. I thought I might be even better at 60 than I was at 30. You have a body that's almost as strong, but you have a much better mind. Go ahead and take your foot here, however it's comfortable, and just pull the toes back. Pull them back and then stretch them apart. So now you're playing with your feet. I know there's someone out there saying to themselves, well, when are we going to do yoga? I want you to know that you do yoga every day. You stand on these feet, but yet we don't appreciate them. So I really want you to work them. The other thing that happens to the feet is you wear shoes, which is, counterproductive for foot health. But what are we going to do? Go ahead and take your fingers from the back of the toes and kind of run them through. Run them through like so. And if that's too easy, because you've got like super enlightened feet and you're better than other people, then run them through the top or the front of the foot. Huh. And then tell me if that one's easy, because that one's really challenging for me. All right, and then roll your ankle around, and we have another foot. Well, most of us do. And then go ahead and take the other foot, 2 thumbs in at the heel and press. And so the reason that I'm asking you to work on your feet really hard is that they have to carry us a long way. They're going to have to carry us through the whole year here. And as we know from last year, it's going to be a lot of work to keep going and to stay the course. So we're going to make sure our feet are ready for this. If you've been going from the heel to the ball of your foot, go from the ball of your foot to the heel. I want you to know I did this class all week because it's my tradition to take care of the feet at the start of every year. And I noticed my feet very much needed a pedicure. So I did that too. So if you're noticing that your feet could be slightly improved, go ahead and do that for yourself. Not now, take the class and then do it. And then come up and you're going to pull the toes apart, pull them apart, and then pull them back. Maybe even stretch them forward. Basically, you're just playing with your feet here. Oh, this feels good. I broke this toe last year, and I just recently am I able to really pull it apart with strength. Run your fingers through the back, like so. I have a friend, he's a very dear friend, and he's a podiatrist. He's my podiatrist, he's all mine, and he thinks I'm nuts. But I also want to tell you that he thinks I have the feet of a 20-year-old. And so my goal for this year is to have the butt of a 20-year-old. But I'll get to that class another day. Okay, then go from the front to have an ass of a 20-year-old. That would be awesome. Oh, I'm on Instagram Live. I wonder if you can say that word. All right, and then turn your ankle around. Enjoy the ankle. I put up a post last night that was controversial, so I'm not seeing the Instagram Live comments. I'm hoping they're tasteful, but one never knows. And then come on down. That's the thing, you just never know. Come on down and then lie on your back. Now, if you have a strap, it would be terrific to take the strap or a belt. If you have a belt is the thing that fit before COVID, before the COVID-19. It's a thing that used to go around your waist. If you don't have it, you just put your foot up like this, or you can hold your foot, bend your knee any amount. Now with a strap, I want you to have the right foot strapped. You're going to take the right hand and you're going to pull the foot to the right. So this is stretching your inner left ankle. See how I'm doing that? You're pulling. Like if you're on a horse and you want the horse to go right, pull your reins right. You don't have a strap, you just kind of pull your foot to the right and then switch that, pull your foot left. So if you have the strap, you're going to pull the left foot. I'll give workarounds for all my props because I'm telling you, I know that a lot of people don't use props for their yoga. And I'm a prop girl. But there's a workaround for everything. Let's do the outside again. So pull the right rein like you're going to go to the right. And then pull left. All right, friends, we have a second foot. Most of us do. And you're going to take it with your left hand, your left foot's in the strap. You're going to put a left rein a little bit more. So you're stretching that inner ankle. And so what I do at the beginning of every year, I'm a local yoga teacher. And what I do is I start with the base. And I do this as a way to honor the body. So I start with the base, turn the right. So you're stretching the outer ankle. I'm honoring my body. I'm honoring the feet that carry me so far. Next week, I'll be honoring the core and our back. Let's do the outside again. So pull the left. Be honoring the shoulders. With deep, deep practice, it's almost like physical therapy, this practice for the beginning of the month. And then go ahead and pull the right. Good. And then release all that and just take your feet up and move your ankles around slowly, like so. Now you're going to bring your feet together and you're going to hold them together. So this is like Badakanasana on your back. See if you can get the whole foot together and then look at your foot and can you make your arch more pronounced by pushing the big toes in? Just try to make the arch look like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting so that there's a little space in there. And then gently pull the feet towards your face. And so gentle is the key word. You don't want to be like, because it's the beginning of the practice. And who knows, your hips might actually be cranky. Who knows? And then from here, let's go ahead and take half happy baby. You'll take your foot, your hand to your shin or your foot, and you'll just take it down. I'm reading my list here so I don't forget things. And then we'll switch. All right, and then from here, hug your knees into your chest and roll up to a seat. Now, if you have a blanket, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do the next thing. And if you're a cycler, I'm a cycler on Peloton, this is going to be miserable, but please don't quit. Remember, your goal today is to be like Diana Nyad, like we're not giving up. If you have a blanket, any blanket, even a throw blanket from your couch, you're going to roll it up nice and tight. So it's going to look like this. And if you have that blanket, you're going to come up and you're going to put it right behind your shins, right on top of your calf and behind your thighs, and you're going to sit. And then you're going to curse me, but your mute is off. So curse me as much as you want because I can't hear you. La, 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 la. Now, if you don't have a blanket, you're going to take the shin bone of the right leg and you're going to put it right behind the knee on the calf of the left, and then you're going to sit. And then I'm going to go la, 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 la. I can't hear you because I know it's smarty. And this is called calf smashing, and it gets the fascia in the back of your shins. Now, I'm an English major. I'm not your best anatomy teacher. And so here's what I can tell you about the calves. They're connected to the ankle bone. So if you want strong calves and ankles and feet, you're going to have to go to the calf. Let's go ahead and switch. So if you have a blanket, you're just going to stay right where you are and continue to put as much weight as you can. Those of you who don't have a blanket, you're just going to switch. Now, if you have the blanket and you're here, separate your knees just a little bit and then reach forward as if you're coming to child's pose. And then I want you to walk your hands to the right and move your hips left. So now I want you to wag your tail, kind of see how I'm doing this? Go side to side with your tail. Whew. And this is getting both sides of your calf muscle. Again, an anatomy teacher could say a fancy word like gastrocnemius, but I'm just going to say it's the ankle and the calf. And then switch over to the left, and you're going to wag your tail. Don't be a chicken. If there's a place that's really smarty, sit there longer. If there's a place that needs your attention, give it your attention. Pay all the attention that your body deserves, because I know you've got that courage that'll help you stay the course. I know you've got it. We all survived in some way 2020. You're still here, so you're a lot tougher than you think. And then come on out, take your calf out or your shin or your blanket, and then stretch one leg at a time. Bring it back. Now the next one I'm going to say will hurt me much more than you. That's like what parents say when bad things are about to happen. You're going to take the right bone of your foot. See that bone? It's called the instep. And you're going to put it in the left arch. And then you're going to sit back and try to get that right heel where the sun don't shine. And this is the part where I say, la, 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 I can't hear you. Believe me, it hurts me more than you. And so what happens with the arch is that the entire back body, the fascia and the muscles start in the arch. And when your arch is tight and we start doing our practice, we try to stand tall, then it just comes out of other places in our body that shouldn't be giving. This is where it should give. Also, this is really awesome to prevent plantar fasciitis or to treat plantar fasciitis. If you come to me for yoga therapy and you have a foot problems, I often start with this, and then apparently people don't come back. Let's switch. You're going to put that bone of the left foot, that bone, the instep, right in the arch of your right, and then you're going to put that left heel where the sun don't shine. And you're going to try to put as much weight on it as you possibly can. Oh, I know. Look, I wear shoes too. And I ride a bicycle and I walk. And so I know that this is very smarty, but trust me when I say that this is going to get you where you want to go. This is going to get you, as Diana Nyad would say, to your other shore. She has a beautiful quote here. She says, whatever your other shore is, whatever you must do, whatever inspires you, you will find a way to get there. But I'm going to tell you, it may not be easy. And so this is the kind of work we do if we want to have greater physical health, as we go into the hard places here. All right, come all out of that. You can just stretch your legs back in tabletop one at a time. And then from here, curl your toes under and sit. And so those of us who do this kind of a sit here and there, maybe it's better today. Maybe because we did that work, it's a little more accessible today. Let's go ahead and take our arms to the side and then take your thumbs back so that you're doing a huge outer rotation. And then squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other and lift up. So you're stretching your arms up. Do the best you can to pull the ribs in at this time. Come back to the side here. And now you're going to bring your arms down like a W, like a W sign. So this is a W. And then come up and this is a Y. You see where I'm going? Y. Let's do an M, cactus. Y, M. Let's do a C. And then we'll do A, and then come back down to W. So we'll do YWCA. It's a new song. So we'll do Y, squeeze the shoulder blades together. I'm distracting you from your feet. Y, W, bring it down. C, and A. Good, and then from here, you can come off your toes, praise God, come back to tabletop. Stretch out that feet if you need to. And then tuck your toes under and it's bear. So bear is where we just hover the knees. And so we're just starting to turn on the core. Drag your hands back towards your knees and then drag your feet towards your hands. Notice how that turns things on. And then from here, press back, downward dog. Now, you're probably in a bit of a shorter dog since we came from tabletop, and that's okay. Because I'm looking for you to really be able to stretch your heels down one at a time. Walk your hands back to your feet and stay in Uttanasana or forward fold. And bend and straighten your legs. Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you an awful, horrible truth about yoga. And you can always say you heard it here first. In down dog, your heels are supposed to be on the ground. I know. All the yoga teachers, including me, we say try, reach your heels. Walk your hands forward about one palm print and press your legs back. We say all these things to make you feel better, like everybody gets a trophy for trying to get their heels to the mat. But the ugly truth, look, I'm walking one palm at a time towards my down dog and then press back. Keep your heels down. The ugly truth is the heels are supposed to be down. Pull the belly in, press back. Now I know eventually your heels will come up, and that's okay. You're quite possibly still a good person. Okay, here I am, I'm in my full dog and heels are down. Don't hate me, don't be like putting stuff up on the internet about how terrible I am. It's just that I do this work and I do it all the time. Come back a little to where you're comfortable and drop heels to the left. And now I want you to keep as much of both sides of your foot on the ground as you can. You can even come forward to a plank, but keep both edges of your feet on the mat. So you're going to go down, twisted dog to plank dog. Oh. And this is why I stretched your ankles. Do it a couple more times. I call this pose walk like an Egyptian because your feet are like the hieroglyphics. Okie doke, let's switch. Drop your heels to the right. So you're in down dog, heels right. Your goal is to get as much of your foot, both feet on the mat, and then ease forward to like a straight arm plank and come back. So again, just go slow and keep breathing. Okay, one more time. Really see if you can come down, keep both sides of your feet on the mat, and then come back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and walk your way to the top of the mat. Hands to your waist and stand up, rise. All right, so facing the top of your mat, bring your feet together. Knit your hands together and free the pointer finger. Bring your arms up high Now I want you to take what we would call a side bend to the right. Now as you side bend right, pull the belly in, push the hips left. Spread your feet a lot. Can you pick up the right foot and move farther to the left? And this is called strengthening that left ankle a lot. See, my right foot is free. And then come on back. I know yoga could be easier, but I don't know that it could be more effective than this. Go ahead and bump your hips to the right. And then as you get a little far over, see if you can lift up that left foot, just enough to skim the ground, just enough to make the work a little harder. And then as you start to feel the right ankle wobble, like be grateful, like, wow, it's really hard. Yay, my foot's getting stronger. Isn't that a different way of looking at things other than, oh, I hate her, it's so hard. How about, yeah, and then come on back, release the hands. While we're here, I'd like you just to put your hands on your knees and look down at your feet. And this is building good habits. So yoga is a sequence of events. It's called krama or krama. And these are habits. It's an order in which we do things. So we're starting the year by pushing the big toes down. We're going to start the year with good feet. Push the big toes down and then spread your feet way out to the pinky toe. Like how wide can your toes get? Remember that toe stretching we did? And then push back to the inner heel and then widen to the outer heel. Let's do it again. Shake it off. Look at your feet. Push the big toe down. Widen to the pinky. Push back, down, draw it back to the inner heel and then widen to the outer heel. And notice your legs just became aligned. Now, one last step. Let's say you want to borrow my shoes. I have fabulous shoes, but I have really tiny feet. So you want to make your feet smaller. So squeeze them so that they look smaller. And then re-press down the toes and take your fingers and touch your arch. And notice your arch just appeared. And so that's how we want to work the feet. Good. From here, inhale, stand up. Now we'll take a tree pose. Make your left leg really strong and then do the work on the left side. Big toe down, spread to the pinky, inner heel back, outer heel back. Take your right leg up, give it a squeeze. Now, if you've been drinking like I have and your balance is no good, just go ahead and put your toe on a block. But I don't want weight on it. I want you to really work the left ankle. Otherwise, take your right foot and place it for your tree, thigh or shin. Knit your fingers, free the pointer, and lift up. Now, I'm proud of you. This is all good. I want you to go ahead and take a side bend to the right. You're reaching towards that right knee. Let your right foot bump your hips out left. I know there's a wobble there, but stand for something. Stand for staying with it and allow your foot to wobble and just know, oh, this is getting me stronger. Okay, now come up. Don't change anything, but now pull your arms to the left. Now, your hands and your knees, they don't like each other. One's a Republican and one's a Democrat. So you're going to pull your hands and your knee away from each other as much as possible and get the biggest side stretch you can. Whoa, I'm even going to fall. Don't worry, I'm still kind of a good person. Those of you who know me really well know I'm only kind of. And hold here as best you can for 3, 2, and 1. Come on back, shake it out. Right foot, do the habits. Krama, big foot to big toe down to the pinky, to the inner heel, to the outer heel. Make your foot smaller. You want to borrow my shoe. Lift up your left foot, give it a squeeze. That's my habit. It's really good for the hip flexor and place it on the inner thigh or wherever it is for you. Knit your fingers the awkward way. Free the pointer, lift up. First bend towards the knee. Oh. Go slow. When my dad was teaching me how to drive, the best advice he ever gave me when I was just, 15 or 16 was he said, go slow. Less bad things happen. Like I can't guarantee no bad things will happen, but it'll be better if you go slow. And then come up and you're going to pull away. Remember, opposites do not attract here. So pull your hands away from your knee. Pull your knee away from your hands and try to get as much stretch on the left side as you can and just enjoy the wobble. Just enjoy the wobble. No, it makes you stronger, whatever you survive. And come back to the center and shake it all off. At the top of your mat, inhale here and then exhale and forward fold. I want to start with the left foot, put it up for a figure 4. And then just to be sure that it's completely flat, you can take a block. And if you don't have a block, it's not a big deal. Just hold the foot. If you have a block, put a block right on it and make sure that it looks completely flat to the edge of your mat. Pull that pinky toe back. Really do that work. Even here on the block, spread the toes out. Make the arch pronounced and then push your hips back. Notice how much more effective the hip opener is when we work the feet. It's just something to notice. Oh, good, and then we'll release and we'll do the other side. I have blocks, you obviously don't need them. I've been drinking an excessive amount in the last couple of days, so I gotta have it for balance. Go ahead and put a block right on your foot. Make sure you're aligned. Pull the pinky toe back. Press the block into the foot and the foot into the block and move your hips back any amount. And breathe. You know, persistence is nothing more than the art of showing up. Showing up maybe to do that swim over and over again. Showing up and not giving up about what your other shore is. That's the lesson I took from Diana Nyad. And then go ahead and release. Move your blocks to the side. Halfway lift, inhale. Step back to your high plank. Now here in your high plank, you're on your toe arch. Now pull the belly in and come way forward till you're just on your tippy toe. This strengthens the feet. And then move back and move forward. And again, just know you're strengthening your hands and your feet. One more time, move forward till you're on your very tippy toe and then lower all the way down. Lengthen your feet, push the tops of your feet down so that your legs engage. And then inhale, rise up, back bend of your choice, cobra or upward dog, and press back, downward facing dog. Walk it out. And enjoy your breath. Good, let's take the right leg forward into a low lunge. Left hand stays down. And then from here, drag the right heel back isometrically. And inhale, lift up the right arm. So it's just a low lunge twist. And then really allow your back heel to press back. Like seek out that calf stretch wherever you can. And then let that right hip reach back. You can even take your hand in it and reach it back. And then take your top arm, your right arm across your face. And remember the hand and the hip, they don't like each other. Pull them apart as best you can. That's a nice twist. And then release, step back, down dog. We'll do the second side. Step your left leg forward, right hand stays down. Just pause for the good habits. Press your front foot towards the back and the back towards the front. And take the left arm high. Take that back foot, stretch it back as far as you can. You're going to become so badass in this practice that you're going to seek out discomfort. You're going to be like, discomfort is my bitch. I'm in it, I'm on it. Take your hand to your left hip, push it back, and then stretch. So you're going to stretch your left hand away from your left hip goes back. Stretch your right heel back and turn for 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. Come forward to high plank. Come way forward more than you want. You're on your tippy toes and lower all the way down. Back bend of your choice. And then lower back down. And then just take a moment to watch my feet. You can watch the screen. And so this is like a picky part. It's like picky. This is Ashtanga picky. But there's a reason when teachers are picky, and it's because it makes you better. I know it kind of sucks, but it's going to make you stronger in the feet. So I wish I had a foot cam. Watch my feet. This is the the so-called proper way. So here I am in plank, see I'm on my toes, lower down. Now I'm gonna pull forward, feet go straight back. This is like an up dog or cobra. Now watch the feet straight over the toes to the heels in dog. So let's do it together. Come to your down dog. Remember that bad news, the heels are supposed to be down. Try, it's okay if you can't, just try. Come forward to a plank. Allow the whole foot to kind of bend to the tippy toe. Lower down. Once you're on your toes, thumbs should be at the lower rib. Up dog or cobra. And then straight over your feet. Straight back, don't let them sickle. Let's do it one more time. High plank. Low plank. Up dog, pull forward. Down dog, push back. Come to your knees. Child's pose. And then sit up. Now what I want you to do is to lean forward and squeeze your inner heels. Lean forward, grab your outer heels and squeeze so that the inner heels touch. And then sit, put your sit bones on those heels. So I just had to get a little bit of my COVID-15 out of the way. So you want to sit on those heels so you get all the weight on them. Don't deny yourself this pleasure. It should be really smarty on the shins. The front of your leg, it should be like, wow. And that's what I'm going for here. This is called a prep for tortoise pose. What I'm going for is some knowledge of how that's all related there. If it's not enough for you, you can take your hands on blocks or just on the ground if you have long arms. And then lift up your knees. This would be the top of your feet. This would be the top of your feet. You can bring them back down if you want to see a little better so you can see the top of my feet. I'm stretching the top. Oh, mamma mia. And then from here, you can stretch up onto the top and then roll over your feet just like we did in dog and come onto your heels. So this is malasana, feet closed together. And then hands to the mat and come up. We're going to do that a little bit more. If you have a blanket, take it to the top of your mat. If you don't have a blanket, let me show you a workaround. You're going to just roll your mat. See? Roll it. So you have a little bit of a lift here. I'm going to use my blanket. Nice tight roll. I'm going to use 2 blocks because remember I told you I've been drinking. And you're going to put the big toe, the ball of your foot on the blanket and heels on the mat. And then you're going to push down on the blocks and straighten the legs. Now, I know this could be interesting work. And by interesting, I mean discomfort. But remember, the hard things are the things that will probably get you closer to the other shore. If you don't need the blocks, you can go down to that mid-level. If you're still able to keep your legs straight, go down to the lowest level. If this is easy and you think I'm adult, go ahead and place hands on the floor. Keep your legs straight. Holy moly. You can take hands into cupcake, like you make your fingers long, or you can bring the palms down. I can't quite get palms down. All right, and then step off. Why on earth would we ever make yoga harder? Well, I don't know. Maybe it makes us better. And then come on to the front of your roll of your mat or of your blanket. Put your heels on it. And you know where we're going, all the way to the floor. Oh, this is much better, Michelle. Yeah, it is. It is. And since it's so much better, can you go with hands flat, legs straight? All right, if your hands are on the floor or on blocks, can you come up onto your toes so that your heels are completely lifted? And then from here, come to your Katasana. You can take arms forward. So the arms forward here give you a little bit of a counterbalance. They help. Can you bring arms overhead? And if you're shaking and whatnot, that's good. It means, you know, it means it's working. The yoga's working. Good, and then stand all the way up. Oh, I know that was hard. Sit down deep again. Walk your heels, your feet together so they touch and your heels have that little bit of support, and then crouch as best you can. Why didn't we do this one first for Malasana? I don't know, maybe because it's easier. And then I'm going to help myself with a block behind me, left elbow on the right knee. Pull your ribs in and twist. This is Vashistasana. Obviously, you can do this without the blanket. It works. Let's come to the other side. Right elbow to the outside. Squeeze your knees together and twist. Good, and come on back. Forward fold. Step off your blanket, move it to the side. All right, I'll face you for the next one, but I want you to stay at the top of your mat. Feet to the edges of the short edge of your mat. Heels in, toes out, squat, Malasana. And then look at your feet. Can you do the good habits? Big toe down, pinky toe, inner heel, outer heel. Make your foot smaller because you want to borrow my shoes. FYI, I have fabulous shoes. Kira's been to my house. She knows I have fabulous shoes. A lot of things have changed on my body, but the feet are still good. All right. So again, remember the bad news? Like the bad news of down dog was that heels have to be down. Well, the bad news here is that if you can, you want your feet straight. See how my feet are straight? Now, if that hurts your knee, you can't do it. The reason it might hurt your knee is that your ankles were tight. So see if you can do Malasana. See, my right foot's not as good as the left. See if you can do Malasana, feet straight. It's just about progressing the practice. Good, forward fold. All right, I'll show this one from the side. Now walk your feet together so that your big toes touch and maybe just a sliver between your heels. Hands to the ground, come up on those toes and squat. This is like a little ball. Now you're gonna do Malasana. Heels go to the ground. So it's our second time. You can grab your mat and pull. So see the heels are on the ground. See my heels on the ground. If you want full pose, walk your hands back and then touch your head to your toes. Heels stay on the ground. Good, and then from here, forward fold, halfway lift, downward facing dog. One breath in and breath out. Walk back to the top of your mat and take your blanket roll. Again, if you don't have a blanket roll, just roll your mat so it looks like this. So here you are, top of your mat, blanket roll. We're making the easy poses hard today, folks. Put your left foot right up on that blanket roll. Step your right foot back. I'm going to use a block. And this one's triangle, straighten the front leg. Now squeeze your legs together, pull the belly in, and stretch the right arm long. You can stretch it over your ear. Remember, this hand and the right hand and the right foot, they don't like each other. Pull them apart. Pull apart, pull apart. It's I can make so many political jokes. I usually do, but I know that right now we're all very sensitive. It'd be like picking at a scab. It's like Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, pull them apart so nobody gets hurt. All right, and then from here, if you wish, take your right hand to the hip for stability and then lift up. See my toes, left toes come way off the block or the edge of your blanket and take triangle again. This is the Ashtanga variation. Notice how strong it makes you. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Good, step forward and switch your legs. So now the right foot, you can see the Instagram people can't see. Right foot on the blanket, left foot steps back, use a block. Good. Triangle, Trikonasana. First pose, arm goes straight up and then extended, arm goes across the chin. And remember, pull, pull, pull the hand away from the back foot, pull the foot away from the hand, lift your torso towards the sky. And then if you're ready, lift your toes off the blanket, keep the leg very straight and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Step forward. Put the blanket to the side or unroll your mat, keep your block. Step your right leg back. And so we're going to do half moon. I want you to pay attention to the feet. So here in half moon, step up and in. And then make sure the bottom foot, my left foot, push the big toe down, spread to the pinky, inner heel, outer heel, make it short. Now do the same thing with the back foot, but make the back foot like your figure 4 foot. Pull the pinky toe back and see if you can look down. Is it perfectly flat to a wall behind you? And then from here, extend the top arm. Now, if you want a more challenge, wherever your bottom hand is, move it closer to your bottom foot. So take your left hand, move it in, medial, move it back. If you can even hold your foot, and then take your gaze to the sky. So all that is a way to really make yourself strong and stable. Good, forward fold. I think that by working the feet in the practice, it makes the whole practice stronger. Step your left leg back, and now my right foot's in front, half moon. Do the work, big toe down, spread to the pinky, inner heel, outer heel, shorten the foot, engage the arch. And then what's happening with your back foot, pull the pinky toes back. Make it as flush to the edge of your mat as you can, just like you did in figure 4. Lift the top arm. If it's easy, take that bottom hand to the ground, in medial, in towards the foot. And then if you can even hold the foot right here, can you bring your gaze to the sky? This is krama. This is how we progress the practice, one little stability test at a time. And then release the back foot, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, and step back, downward dog. Step the right foot almost to the right hand. Left hand is in the top center of the mat, and turn your heels left. This is a Vashistasana prep. And what I want you to do is take that back foot and get the whole thing on the ground. Get that whole thing, big toe, everything you can. And then stretch the right arm away. And remember, this hip, right hand, right hip, they don't like each other. Push, stretch, twist to the sky. I'm working the back foot here. Get the whole thing to the ground. Nice. Let's switch, down dog. Step your left foot almost to the left hand. Rotate feet to the right. And your first order of business is that right ankle. Get it down, get that foot flush. And then stretch the left arm long. And remember, hand and this hip, left hand, left hip, get them apart, separate them. Sometimes I call them the Pepe Le Pew and the pussycat. If your hip is the pussycat, pull it away from that hand. It wants to be apart. And then bow, downward facing dog. Good, let's try it again. Left hand to the top center of the mat. Right foot steps almost to the top. Get your back foot situated on the ground. You can stay here or take that right foot into a tree. Or now that right hand and your right knee, remember when we did our prep, they want to be apart from each other. So this is Vashistasana with tree legs. Pull the hand and the knee as far apart as you can. The only way to get stability in this pose is if your bottom foot's all the way down. That really helps. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Downward dog. Oh my God, I'm killing myself here. I'm panting. Right hand top of the center of your mat. Here, turn heels right. Step that left leg almost to the top. If it feels right to you, put that left foot in your tree pose. Get that whole bottom foot on the ground and then stretch. Vashistasana, tree legs. Remember the hand and the knee. Pull them apart. Look up for 3, 2, 1.5. And downward facing dog. Whew. And then from here, take your right, no, let's do left knee to the left wrist, pigeon. And so, you know, making the hard poses harder because we can. If you're one of these people who can take that left shin parallel to the top, I'm happy for you. I'm not one of those people, so I'm all the way on my left. If you are, make sure you're being true and put that block on the edge of your foot And then push your foot onto the block, turn your ribs to the front and lay down. I'm not that person, it doesn't feel right. So you're gonna take your foot, if you're human like me, and you're gonna bring it back 45, put the top of your foot down. Now you're gonna try to get your big toe to touch the ground and pinky toe. As you lean your arms forward, listen up, pull your ribs back. Now you can come as far forward as you want, but never let your ribs touch your shin. Oh, I learned this from a wonderful teacher named Julie Dorman in New York. Don't let your ribs, you can bring yourself all the way down. Don't let your ribs touch your shin. And that will keep you engaged and strong. Good, come up. Now, before you go anything, take your back foot and just bend it in like so. So now you're in a pose, looks like this. And then you're just gonna turn towards away from the legs, and this is a nice stretch. You can take your right forearm down and stay up on your left hand and twist. Good, come on back, downward facing dog. There's three basic shapes to the feet in the pose. There's a Tadasana foot, there's a pigeon foot, and there's a Janu Shirshasana foot. Take the right knee to the right wrist, Janu Shirshasana. So the pigeon foot, technically, shins parallel to the top, put the block on your foot on the outside. Make sure the foot is touching the block square, lean forward. Doesn't feel right on my knees, so then tuck your leg back and do Janu Shirshasana foot. So make sure the whole top of the foot, the toes and your instep are on flat on the ground, and then reach forward, pull your ribs back. So again, you're allowed to lie down, but you can't let your ribs touch your shin. Fight for it, fight for what's important to you, your health and your strength. Your health and your strength. Here's another quote from Ms. Nyad. She says, I have an uncompromising relationship with my goals. I have an uncompromising relationship with my goals. What could you achieve this year if you had an uncompromising relationship with the reason why you come to the mat, whether it's to be stronger, more flexible, more patient, whatever is your reason? What if you didn't compromise? What if you held to it? What if it was your other shore and you were going to go for it no matter what? And then come back. And then before we come out, just bend that back leg in. So you're kind of in this shape. This pose, and then you twist away from the legs. This pose has a name. It's not a name. It's not a word I like to use. But let's just say that this week we saw this symbol on a flag going through our capital. C'est la vie. Left hand down, right hand up, twist. Oh, holy moly. I hope you can feel this. I had a yoga teacher once, one of my favorite teachers in the world. And he used to say to me, Michelle, he said, you can hit almost any pose, but the challenge for you is to stay with it. Like I'm a hit it and quit it girl. I can hit handstand and then I'm out. But the challenge for many of us isn't to hit it. It's to how long can we stay until it becomes comfortable, until ease or dis-ease becomes ease. How can we make that happen? It's the same with our time on the earth. And then come on back and then just swing the back leg forward. Not quite done, my friends. Come back here, please, to Badakanasana. So you're sitting down now, the soles of your feet are together. And so this pose here is a prep for Mula Bandhasana. Take your hands and try to open your feet as flat to the ground as you can. For those of you who are really interested in yoga, there's a picture of Mr. Iyengar with his feet up by his chest and they're completely flat, in and then out. So let's talk about open and strong ankles. Good. Let's extend the right leg out and the left leg in. Now the left leg, this foot is Janu Shirshasana foot. So just rotate it so as much of the top foot is on the mat as you can. Now that back foot, this is going to be your Tadasana foot. So you can check it by putting a block against it. Like, is my foot perfectly straight up? And then do the work. Big toe pushes down, widen to the pinky toe. Inner heel, outer heel. Make it small, touch your arch. You can keep the block there for Janu Shirshasana, or you can just keep it as a way to remember, oh, work your foot. Or if you're super open, you can reach forward and grab the foot. Oy, oy, oy. All of us yoga teachers who are not used to practicing and teaching, it's been such a challenge. It's been so crazy for us. I sympathize with all of you. Let's come back. We have a second side. So now extend the left leg and take that time to make this right foot do the work that it's meant to do. You really push the top of the foot down, turn your torso, and then notice that back foot. Is it straight up? Straight up. Isn't there a song about straight up? That's Paula Abdul. That shows you how old I am. Okay. Oh, reach towards that foot. If you're super open, you can hold the block. As you can tell, I'm not super open, but I'm pretty strong. There's always that trade-off. Breathe here. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back. Let's do the first side again. I'm a believer in doing things twice. I'm a believer in doing things twice because, you know, a lot of things are good on the second time, like my second marriage. That little thing was for my love, Kira. Second time's better, trust me. All right. So now, here you are, set it up, and then take your right arm to the inside. Now, listen up, we're gonna do it wrong. We're gonna take that left hip all the way off the ground. See them like up in the air. In fact, you can roll that blanket and put it under your left hip. This is my favorite wrong thing to do. And then with that left hip up, or put it on a blanket or just lift it. Take that top arm up and extend it. Now remember, this hand and this knee, they don't get along. So pull away from each other. And then see if there's a little foot there. And find Parivrtta, Janu Shirshasana, or something that looks somewhat like it. Oh, it feels so good. And then come on up. Let's switch. Put this blanket, I'm gonna put under the knee. It's gonna give me leverage when I push down to lift the hip. Fix those feet. So now when you come to yoga, instead of fixing your face, you're gonna fix your feet. Left arm to the inside, right arm up. Now, push that knee down and get it away from the hand. Push down, lift the hip, push down. And then see if there's a little foot there or a shin or anything. Parivrtta, Janu Shirshasana. Hold. Hold until the discomfort becomes comfortable, until the dis-ease becomes ease. And that's when you know you have the pose. When you can stay. When you just hit it and quit it, you don't really have the pose. It's just tinder. But when you can stay with it, then you've made a relationship. And then come on out. Take both feet in front of you. Nice and long. And come down onto your back. Walk your feet in. Now, you would think with bridge pose, it's all about everything but the feet. But look, really push your feet down. Push your feet down. Now do the footwork. Big toe, pinky toe, inner heel, outer heel. Make it short. Make your foot short like you want to borrow shoes. Push your heel down. Then lift your chest, lift your hips. Now drag your short feet towards your shoulders. Drag, drag, drag. And lift your hips any amount for bridge pose. It should feel good. Notice how strong feet get you higher, gets you deeper, engages the back body. And release. Hug your knees into your chest, roll around. Let's try that one more time. Bring your feet together. This Badakanasana thing on our back. Maybe it's more comfortable. Maybe we're just a little closer. Who tries to swim from Cuba to Florida in her 60s? Who does that without a shark cage? Who does that? And then after the first time you did it, if you were stung nearly to death and you were removed unconscious from the water, would you take that as a sign to give up? She didn't. Take your feet to the edges of the mat and then drop your knees left. Put your left foot on the thigh of the right. So I'm on the thigh like a tree kind of a thing. And push your thigh long and down. Stretch your arms up. Supine twist. She took that as a sign that she needed to change up something and keep working. What I also love about her is that she didn't work on it like by swimming from Florida to Cuba and Cuba to Florida every day. No, she swam in the pool. And this is called the donkey work. Come on back. And anyone knows that when you're trying to get to a goal in your life, it's not about going for the goal. It's the donkey work. Drop your knees right. Put your right foot on the thigh of the left. Push it down, encourage it long, stretch your arms. It's about that donkey work. It's about showing up. It's about doing this little stuff for the feet and maybe the calves and the arches. And then one day before you know it, you've done a really long and a really deep practice, and maybe that was your other shore. Come on back when you're ready. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll the feet. If there's anything else that you might like a happy baby or another twist, please take it, or another back bend. Otherwise, it's time to hug your knees into your chest. Bring your nose towards your knees and then stretch out nice and long for your Shavasana. Before I let you go, and I will take you out, but before I let you go, one more quote for you to think about. And this is from Confucius. And this is the quote that says, "A river cuts through a rock, not due to its power, but due to its persistence." So if I can give you any little bit of inspiration for this year, so far we've had 5 good days. But if you want to get through the rest of the days of this year, think about your endurance, your persistence, and your patience, and how none of those things are the strength of the young. It's the strength, it's the skill set of those of us who have survived. I'll take you out in just a minute. Thank you for so much for joining us here at Kira Grace. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop the. Are you sure to want to end? End now. Good. You can stay here as long as you wish. One of my favorite things to do on Zoom, I have 2 favorite things. One is to turn the speaker off and take as long a Shavasana as I like. And the second favorite thing is to close with everybody and say hello, because it helps me feel connected. So take your choice. If you wish to close with us, lengthen your arms and your legs. Stretch and welcome the breath. And then gently draw your knees to your chest and roll up. Diana Nyad says, she says that when she swims, when she fulfills her promise, for 1 second, she feels immortal. And I say, when I practice yoga and I hit that one moment where I feel aligned, there's one moment where I feel limitless. May you this week and this year use your practice to feel the things you are seeking. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.
Michelle, that was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very
Thank
proud
you.
of myself. I never used the F word.
You did not.
Did not.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Catherine, how about your feet? It was a little light on quads. Do a quad stretch.
My feet are screaming, but that's good.
They get tight in the shoes, you know, they get tight in the spin shoes and we got to work them.
That's exactly right.
So
Thank
good
you
to see you. Mwah.
Good to
Kira,
see you.
thank you.
Well.
Amber,
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
you're so welcome, everyone. Again, this is the cozy comfort. It's so cute. It's like you can't get me out of it in the winter.
Well,